Hello, Hero Collectors here. How's it going, everybody? Hope y'all are doing fantastic. I know I am, and today I'm going to be reviewing these two Marvel Legends figures. We have the Super Deluxe Juggernaut from the Gamerverse line, and then the Captain America from the Venom 2-pack from the Gamerverse line as well. I am not keeping that Venom figure, so I figured I could pair Cap with this Juggernaut figure. I think that's all I've got to say, so without further ado, let's get into the figures. All right, starting out here with Cap. This is not the same Captain America we have been getting recently. This is a descaled Captain America, and looking rather muscular here. He is rather buff, much larger. I say much larger, but he is a little bit larger than the previous Captain Americas we have gotten, and he is, smooth here. The first comic book Captain America we've gotten in a while with butterfly joints, which is nice. It's got the star with the peg hole in the back for the shield. Got the red and white stripes going around. The belt looks good. I want to say these legs are reused from the Secret Wars Captain America, but I'm not 100% sure on that. Sound off in the comments. I believe these boots are new. I want to say this is mostly new, but I can't fully remember. But yeah, looking pretty good. I like the face sculpt here. The eyes are very well painted. I know this is the digital deco, and you got the star there, the wings there. Gloves look pretty good. I'm going to get into the hands a bit here after a while. There is a sculpted kind of lip here between the blue and the white, so that is color separated, or at least actually it's not color separated like it's molded into plastics. I want to say it's a white base with blue paint, but there is like mold there so that you can actually feel the difference. There is a difference there. So yeah, in terms of just going over the figure, I think that's about all I have to say. So let's get into the accessories. So first up on the figure, you can see he's got a set of fisted hands, but then he also comes with a set of thumbs up hands, which is probably my biggest complaint with this figure, is that we get these instead of kind of wide open or throwing hands. I would have really appreciated those instead of these. I get why they're here, but it would have been more dynamic for a figure, or for this figure, to have the wide open hands for the shield. But to make up for it, we do get a really nice angry screaming head that I think is done really well. It has that system where they insert the mouth from the back so that you can get all these little details like the teeth and the tongue in there. It looks really nice. Good eyes, a little splotchy towards the edge here where the mask meets the face, and splotchy at the A, but not anything that ruins the experience for me. And then it can't be Captain America without his shield, so he does have his shield here. This is the older mold where it is slightly smaller. It does still have the clip and pin system. So it's not the larger shield that we have been seeing from other Captain Americas, but I think that's why, or this is probably why they have it be the smaller mold, is because they would have to mold more plastic for the larger mold. But this is the effect that he comes with. It's a translucent kind of bluish purple color, and you can see the shield just kind of looks in there. But it's got these two little like lips here that just hold onto the shield once you clip it in, and then you can put it in his hand and charge with the shield. And I think that's a pretty good effect. Not something I will display him with, but I do appreciate having it here for photos and just looking cool in some action shots. But now with the accessories gone over, let's go over the articulation. So he has a ball and hinge at the top of the neck, so he can look up that far. He can look down quite a bit. He does look side to side, of course, and tiny bit of tiltage. Shoulders can go up that high. He's got a butterfly joint that can go, let him go in that far. You can see there. And it can allow him to go pretty far back, as you can see there. And then, yeah, the bicep swivel. Oh, I guess shoulders go all the way around. And then a double jointed elbow. You kind of have to work with the glove to make it work. You might have to tuck it there and to utilize it better. There's that. All the hands hinge down and up. He's got an ab crunch. I know a lot of people would like to see the diaphragm cut and then the lower ab crunch on a Captain America. This doesn't bother me at all. I'm fine with this, but the crunch can go that far forward, that far back, a little gappy. Doesn't go as far back as or forward as you would really want. It's got a waist swivel hidden by the belt. The belt is a kind of free-floating piece, so you can adjust that to however you want, but it does get out of the way for the articulation. The legs go out that far. Can't kick forward, not really back cut. Double jointed pinless knees, cannot kick his own butt. He does have a boot swivel, and then the feet can go down that far, can go up, and he does have ankle pivot. So what are my final thoughts on this Gamerverse Captain America figure? So for me, I'm not really collecting for a Gamerverse display. I'm collecting to enhance my comic book figures, and this Captain America is a great it's a great upgrade from what we've seen previously, giving him the butterfly joints and just giving us a flat kind of armor Captain America. We have seen this before in some of the earlier figures we got with Hasbro, like the Capel figure. So it's not anything I'm a stranger to, and it does have its place. There are artists that did not draw him with the scale mail, so I don't have a problem with that necessarily. Like, this might be the definitive Captain America for a shelf dedicated to him, so it has its place in my collection. My thing is this a superior Captain America figure, and why is he missing hands? Because there are some articulation points that are better than another Captain America, like including the butterfly joints, and just some of the pinless range overall. But why doesn't he come with the hands that he should? I get the thumbs up hands, it's fun, reference to the game, but throwing hands are essential, I think, for a Captain America figure. I had to dig through my bins to really find a set that really worked for me, and it was close in the color matching, but there's no real definitive set that I found that would work. So I would have really appreciated that. And I guess my only other complaint would be the ab crunch. I wish it would have crunched furthermore. I'm not one that needs to have the super articulation on a Captain America figure. Like, it's not something I'm demanding. Would I take it? Absolutely. But here, I just would have appreciated more crunch forward and back with what we've got. Does he have the fun factor? Oh, absolutely. It is a great Captain America figure. Really well articulated, very photogenic. I had a blast taking photos of him. And then for a final rating, I want to give him an 8.5 out of 10. I can't quite say a 9, but I don't know. For me, who loves Captain America in terms of just the comic book, he's in my top 5 favorite Marvel characters. I really appreciate how good this figure is, and the fact that I do have a place for him as is great. I just don't think it was executed as well. Again, I know I'm a comic collector trying to take a Gamerverse figure to fudge it into the collection, so maybe my judgment is skewed, but the hands are the biggest thing. Like, it really bothers me that we didn't get proper hands to demonstrate his throwing. Otherwise, I think it's still a great figure. If you are wanting that 2-pack, even for just Captain America, I think it's worth it. But if you like that Venom 2, then all the better. Oh boy, this is going to be fun to try and record. But here we have the Super Deluxe Juggernaut figure, and he is massive. If you saw my unboxing, I compared him to the previous Juggernaut, and he does make the previous one look rather small. I do really like this figure. Again, I'm here to enhance my comic book collection, and it's going to be kicking the previous Juggernaut off the X-Men villain shelf. So yeah, you can see up here at the dome, it's nicely textured. It's got kind of like a metal, kind of, I don't want to say cast iron, but you know what I mean, the kind of rough texture to it. Not quite smooth, with a nice grimace and some piercing blue eyes. Look there, you cannot remove this helmet from the rest of the head to display it, and he does not come with an alternate head in general, so you can use the previous heads. They don't pop on easily, but you can fudge it and make it work, so if that's what you prefer. Looking here along the arms, there is some shading to the vein work along here, and even as you come to the chest, and if you come down to here to the thighs, there is a bit of shading just to kind of accentuate the muscles and whatnot. There's no real shading here on the abs or whatever, but it is textured really nicely to show that it is a different part of the costume. Come to the back here, you can see some more of that. No shading on the butt or the back of the legs or the back, but just, you know, some nice sculpt work here. Coming out of the boots, looking good. The hands look good. I think those have some minor shading, along with the nails have a little bit of paint, but you'll see that more on the other hands. I guess we'll go over the accessories. He does have a set of fists, as you can see, but then he has a set of kind of a grip hand and a wide open hand, and you can see those nails more prominently here. Again, paint on the veins, and he's got these kind of bracers or knuckle dusters that are not super loose. They're just kind of held with friction, but they're not going to just slide off the hands. You can see those there. And then just like Captain America, he does come with kind of an effect piece. So this is, in the game, it should really be attached to the dome and cover more of the body. But for this, since, you know, that would have been a just massive piece, this connects to the fist. So you can see the little nubs there. What you do is you take the fist here, you remove the knuckle duster. It's just kind of pinned in, as you can see there. Let's see, there. Yeah, you can see the pins there, the grooves for the fingers, and then he just has a set of holes on the hands. So you just kind of wedge those little nubs to fit the hand. Oops, and I bumped the camera, I'm sorry. But then it just fits the fist pretty nicely, and you can give an effect like he is just giving a massive punch to somebody right in the face, and it works pretty well. Oh, and I just took the hand off by trying to remove that. My bad. It does stay on pretty tightly. It's not just going to fall off like you saw. It is a pretty good effect. I do appreciate it there. Okay, now we'll go over the articulation. So the head does not get a whole lot of range. It is on a ball end hinge, but it can go up that high, down that far. You can turn it, but the way the actual dome is shaped, it's going to run into the chest a lot, especially that point right there. So not the best in terms of articulation, and especially the way the head is positioned, it's not always going to get a good eye line with other characters. So there's that. The butterflies can get him to go in that far. Let's see. Yeah, only really that far. But that is pretty dang close. He almost gets the clap motion like the Hulk. Yeah, but his backwards butterflies can go about that far. I have seen some people where if they push it too much, the torso will start to crack here, separated at that seam line. So just be careful with that. Swords go up that high. Can do a full 360, of course. He's got a bicep swivel, but it's really just the pin system where the forearm is connected to the shoulder, and this is more of a cover, so it just kind of operates independently. The elbow can go in that far. This is a loose piece, so it does tend to slide if you move it too much. Can go in that far, not quite 90, but it does have its own kind of swivel, as you can see there. All the hands hinge down and up, of course. And then here at the torso, we have a diaphragm joint, so we can go side to side there. You can, of course, go forward that much and go back quite a bit. I think that works really well for Juggernaut. And then twist, of course. No waist swivel. He is on ball hips, but that doesn't bother me. I know it does bother some people. That's how far he can go outward. He can kick forward and kind of out to the side. You can get that work. He's got a thigh swivel there. He's got a knee swivel and a single joint there at the knee. Can only get that far. No boot swivel. That's why the knee swivel's there. The foot can go down that far. Can go up. And then he can do a ankle pivot. And then he does have a toe joint, which is kind of ugly when you look at it from the bottom, and not the best when you have, you know, that little triangle there pointing out. As if you can see it right there. Not the best, but I do appreciate it. So, with all that gone over, what are my final thoughts on this Juggernaut? So, with this being a Gamerverse Juggernaut, it is definitely trying to get that size of the game down, and I think that works for a comic book display. This guy is massive, as he should be, and lots of different artists depict Juggernaut different sizes, so it kind of works. I really appreciate this figure. I think it's limited in some areas, but I'm willing to forgive that because of his size and who he is. I can forgive it for that because what else are you gonna do? You know, it's Juggernaut. He's supposed to be big, bulky, a little difficult to wrangle and, move around. So it doesn't bother me a ton. Do I wish the articulation was better? Yes, but I think as is, it is pretty satisfactory. I was able to get pretty much all the poses I wanted to. I had a little bit of limitation here and there. It wasn't perfect, but still a good time. I think the accessories are fine. The alternate hands are good. Part of me wishes the grip hand was just a little bit looser because I really wanted to do a couple photos of him just gripping somebody's head, and I just could not get a figure's head wedged between the index and the thumb. It was just a little too tight. So, I mean, again, I'm really nitpicking here, but that is just a slight issue I had. Does he have the fun factor? Oh yeah, I took a lot of pictures and had a lot of fun. A lot of characters I wanted to pose him with and did. So yeah, good time. Then for a final rating, I think I'm going to give him a solid 8 out of 10. It is a big, bulky figure, very worth the money, but limited, and, the hands aren't perfect. There's just a few things, little quirks that just make him a bit cumbersome, but not like a terrible experience. You're still going to have a good time with this Juggernaut. It is, especially if you don't even have a Juggernaut, this is the one to beat. A lot of people really like the Marvel Select Juggernaut. I never had that one. I've always had the Hasbro 2-pack version. But this guy, way better than that one. And I'm not even going to sell my old one. I'm still keeping the old one. But this new one is going to be on my main X-Men display from now on. All right, and that was my review of these two Gamerverse Marvel Legends figures. We have the Super Deluxe, sorry, I'm about to just said normal Deluxe, Super Deluxe Juggernaut, and the Captain America from the Captain America and Venom 2-pack. Let me know what you think of these two figures down in the comments below. Did you pick them up? Do you agree? Do you disagree on my thoughts with them? Let me know all the things. And if you feel inclined, let me know if I should do a wave ranking. I have 6 out of the 10 figures from this wave, and that's where I'm cutting it off. I don't need Gargantos, the Venom, Omega Red, or War Machine. I have all the others. Should I do a ranking of what I have, or should I just leave it be and put these guys up on the display? Let me know down in the comments below, and while you're down there, make sure you are liking the video and are subscribed, and I will talk to you all in another video, another post, another time.